Hey, everyone. All right. So thank you so much for joining me. My name is Ziki, and I am sorry that today you are not going to be able to see my face, but of course, I am here to give you very briefly the news that we have for today. Now, the first story that we have is about ZANU PF acting political commissar, Comrade Patrick Chinamasa, who was involved in an accident on Saturday. Yes, it is reported that right now he is recovering in a private hospital. He is also quoted saying that he is doing very well and that people should not panic because he is fine and is ready to go home. He is just in hospital because the doctors wants to check if there were no internal injuries and everything. And he also said that he wanted to thank God for preserving his life because the accident was really bad. By the way, the accident happened in Rusape. He said that he was saved by an airbag, that opened and saved him. So he's just being thankful to God for being alive today. Yes, he said he is fine and he is ready to go home. Now, on another story, my Warriors, okay, they are now out of the COSAFA because they were beaten by Senegal 2-1 in a match that was played in South Africa. Yes. Now, even though they were beaten, the men of the match came from Zimbabwe. That is Cape United midfielder. That is Richard Hachiro. So Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Malawi, okay, those teams, they are already out of COSAFA, which means Zimbabwe is not bringing it home, okay? It's not bringing it home because they're already out of the COSAFA. Now, let's get straight to other news, right? There's a bus in Marondera, a cross-border bus that was found with about 38 passengers who didn't have, COVID-19 negative tests, yes, which means that they were traveling from South Africa without being tested. And now the authorities are questioning, like, how did this bus pass through the port of entry with a number of 38 people, without certificates, and the three other people who are positive for COVID-19. How did they cross the border to enter into the country only to be discovered when they got to Marondera? So the issue is being investigated. 3 of the passengers, in that bus were, positive, and right now they've been put in isolation while the others are going to be monitored to see no one akabatira virus along the way. Yes, so they're saying, how did this bus traveled all the way from South Africa to Zimbabwe to reach to Marondera without being detected? There are 38 people who didn't have certificates, okay? So anyway, so these are some of the things that are happening. And of course, still on COVID-19, like the video that I just shared right now, President Idi Mnangagwa has extended, the COVID-19 lockdown by 2 more weeks. He's saying that, well, they need to monitor because the numbers are increasing. Even the number of those people who are dying is also increasing. So they need to monitor and see what is going on. And after that, they're also going to come out with another review in that manner here. So now we still continue to talk about COVID-19. There is a woman, Arukunzi, she was dumped by a boyfriend and by a family after she tested positive. She was pregnant and she had 2 other children. So she was found in the streets sick, and she was taken to isolation. This also points out to stigmatization that is associated by people who tested positive for COVID-19. This is why sometimes you see that the authorities are very reluctant to reveal the names of the people who tested positive, because there's so much stigmatization of people who test positive, because people always think like, well, we cannot have anything to do with it. Even if the person recovers, they still feel like, because of lack of knowledge, they still feel like this person can still spread the disease to them, they can still spread the virus. So there's so much stigmatization when it comes to people who tested positive for COVID-19. This is the reason why a story about this woman, the pregnant woman who was dumped by a boyfriend, by a family, comes to light, to say that these things are really happening. Some people are being stigmatized after they have tested positive. The reason why is, when it comes to hospitals and clinics, they usually keep the names of those who test positive anonymous so that they don't get stigmatized by the people. So these are some of the stories that I have when it comes to COVID-19. Yes. And also in some other stories, countries that is, away from, COVID-19. There is a man who is being sought by the police. This man, Arukunz akauraya iye vanhu 2, and then he raped a neighbor and akaba akapisa musha. So he ran away. Right now he is on the run. He is wanted, and they're saying people should be careful because this man is dangerous. Yes. So yeah, those are some of the stories that we have, and we have the issue of Peter and Love. Peter and Love has got about 13 children, and now Peter and Love is say that he cannot pay maintenance, so he's asking, the courts to pardon him. He's saying that, well, he doesn't have money to pay maintenance. But hey, what were you thinking when you have been having children with different women all over, everywhere? He has got 13 children, and he says he cannot take care of those children. Anyway, so these are some of the stories that are happening in Zimbabwe. Yes, and of course, people are complaining about the roadblocks along Seke Road, which caused a lot of people to stop going to work, some people being late, and some people failing to even, proceed to where they were going. They said the roadblock was just so bad that it was going as far as 5 kilometers, people being stopped, for COVID-19 regulations by the police, searching, checking the certificates, checking the authorization letters, those letters that people are given in order for them to travel. So they say the roadblocks are so disgusting. People have been complaining that this is getting way too much. Okay, this is getting way too much. These roadblocks, they just need to stop. But the authorities are saying we cannot stop this because we need to maintain the regulations that have been set. So, this is some of the things that are happening. And of course, let's go straight to South Africa. We saw what is happening in South Africa now, the new developments that are there right now. The looting has reached another level, and we have seen now, the looters are now in Durban. Some of them in Durban, they are now looting at ports of entry. They're now, vandalizing, containers that bring in goods from outside at the port. So everything is now just getting way, way out of hand. And of course, after we saw the deployment of the soldiers into the different cities in South Africa, we've seen a limited number of people being controlled. Those people like the soldiers, they're not trained to reason, they're not trained to do anything, so they will mess you up. So people just need to listen to that. But anyway, all I'm saying is that thing that is happening in South Africa, I think it has gone overboard. We have seen even the officials themselves, they are not even a tally, they're not really following each other. We saw Julius Malema putting out a statement that he is not happy, he is not happy about the deployment of soldiers. And the statement says that, he is not happy by the deployment of soldiers into the streets. He's saying that this issue should be dealt with as a political issue, not to bring in soldiers to be beating people, to be harassing people just like that. So other people are saying, well, is it that Julius Malema is supporting looting that is happening? Why don't he just come out and condemn the looting that is happening right now, instead of him to be talking about political issues and be still talking about stopping the deployment of soldiers, to go and help control the situation in the streets, because people are losing businesses, people are losing, their lives. Now, according to some reports, there are more than 46 people who have died right now because of this, unrest that is happening in South Africa. So a lot of people have been questioning that, why is it that Julius Malema is saying that don't send soldiers, and wait, he can exactly see that, the police are being overwhelmed, the police are failing, to control this situation. They need help, and the only help that they can get it from the army. So these are some of the things that are happening. And of course, we saw a number of Zimbabweans, being involved in this looting, speaking Shona, with looted goods, looted groceries and everything. It's a shame, it's a shame, okay? What is happening in South Africa is a very, very big shame. So we just say to our brothers and sisters in Zimbabwe, stay out of trouble, stay out of drama, stay out of those things. You already not home, you don't just bring in trouble on top of yourself, all right? If anything happens to you, you just have to put a lot of burden to your families that you're trying to look after. So stay safe. Don't be involved in this kind of, menace that is happening in South Africa. Zimbabweans, please take care of yourselves. in South Africa where you are. Don't be involved. I came across some videos of Zimbabweans laughing and giggling, speaking in Shona, looting and all this kind of, it's embarrassing, you understand? It's embarrassing. It's not something that you need to be joking about, and it's also very, very dangerous of you guys to be to be involved in such kind of things, right? So I'm just saying to my fellow brothers and sisters from Zimbabwe, stay away from problem, stay away from drama. The soldiers kill, they will shoot to kill, and you might be the unfortunate one, you might be the unlucky one to be shot and killed. So stay away from, from the streets. Don't be involved in hooliganism. Don't be involved in this looting, okay? You don't put yourselves in such trouble, all right? So anyway, from here, I am going to go to iAfrica 24, where I am going to talk in depth about EFF, response to the deployment of the National Defense Forces. Yes, because like I said before, EFF is saying it's very wrong of the government to send in, the soldiers. But now let's look at it this way. I've been talking about this issue in the afternoon with some other people, and they'll say, hey, this thing that is happening in South Africa is no longer about Zuma being arrested or what. No, in the beginning, it was about Jacob Zuma being arrested. People said he must be. But right now, the level it has reached, it has got nothing to do with Jacob Zuma, It's just about people who are frustrated. There's so many things at play. In as much as we might call people looters, hooligans and all this and all that, there's also some driving forces behind the situation that is happening in South Africa right now. People are desperate. People are hungry. People have got nothing. They have been locked down. There is no businesses. There's nothing going on. So when they found an opportunity, even a slightest opportunity for them to go into the street, they would take the opportunity and go. That is the reason why we were seeing some of the things that are happening in South Africa. Those people, some of them, even if you ask them about Zuma, they don't know anything about Jacob Zuma. They've got nothing to do with Jacob Zuma. All they are doing is just airing their grievances. It is the frustration that has been building up for long. Frustration of being locked down, the COVID-19, the poverty, the unemployment, and a lot of other things, So now people just come out and they just say, whatever happens, it happens. People start to steal. People start to vandalize property. People start to do a lot of things. So in as much as we say people should maintain order, people may be peaceful, but still there's some issues that need to be dealt with when it comes to the issues of poverty, when it comes to the issues of, employment and everything. And of course, we know that COVID-19 has made it even worse for people to make ends meet. People are dying in their houses without food, not even of COVID, but of lack of food, lack of anything. So this is another reason why we've seen that this looting has become big. So people are just saying, okay, well, this situation is out here, right? Let's just go and take advantage of it and do whatever we can do. We can access some. You see a father carrying Pampers, it just has to tell a story. It just has to tell carrying Pampers, carrying meat, and of course there are those ones who just do things who are thugs by nature, but at the end of the day, there is a situation that needs to be addressed. There is a political issue that needs to be addressed. There's economical issues that need to be dealt with. And so this whole situation that is happening in South Africa is an eye-opening situation to show that things are not all right. People are not all right, okay? If people were fine, situations okay, they would air their grievances in a decent way. They will air their grievances in a calm way, but because things are not all right, the situation is bad. So that is why we see people just being aggressive, people just being aggressive. You say, if I die, whatever comes my way, so be it. It just goes on to show the frustration that people are going through, lockdown and everything else that is happening. So, the world is just so much troubled right now, and we just hope that peace is going to prevail again in South Africa. We just hope that everything is going to die down, because right now I've been following the news. There's some rumors, some news. I don't want to talk much about it, but there's some news that are coming in that they want to twist this thing into something to do with also to involve foreigners, like they want to fight foreigners. This thing that I'm talking about, you can check it out on news. It's called the news.com. Yes, news.com is actually based in South Africa. They do news. So I came across this story and I didn't want to really dwell much on it because it's still being reported as rumors or as something that is said to be. So this is why I'm saying again to foreigners, please take care of yourselves. You know you are already in South Africa. You know South Africa already, so when it comes to South Africa and foreigners, it doesn't really, you are not really good friends, you understand? So that is why I'm saying again, foreigners need to be a little bit cautious of whatever that is being in South Africa, because there's a rumor that I came across with, and like I said before, I don't want to talk much about the rumor, but it is there that there might be some twist, and it might be aiming to foreigners when it comes to this chaos that is going on right now. So that is why also foreigners, we don't need to be involved in these kind of things that are happening right now. Okay, so anyway, my name is Ziki. Thank you so much for joining me. I just wanted to give you some brief things of what is happening right now. The soldiers are now in the streets, and of course there is some mixed feelings in the deployment of soldiers. Others saying, why are you putting soldiers? You just want them to go and harass people, while others are saying, well, we need the soldiers because the soldiers are the only ones who can deal with the situation that is on the ground, and also the number of people that are dying and everything else. And of course, in the beginning of the video, I was talking about the Zimbabwe news. So you have so much to watch, and you've got so much to follow. My name is Z, and if you're new to the channel, why don't you take this opportunity to subscribe and stay in until I come back again with more updates tomorrow. Stay tuned and good night.